So, how am I going to write a novel? I have never written a novel before. I've started a few of them, a few thousand words here or there, just on random spurts of wanting to try to write. Now, going to attempt to go from start to finish, 50,000 words minimum, writing a full and complete novel. Now, disclaimer: it will be a horrible novel. That's something that's pretty much universally talked about when people talk about learning how to write, especially novels. That the first, book, 2 books, 3 books, 4 books, X number of books are just going to be bad. You have to write a lot of bad words to get to any good words. And so that's one of the things that's really been deterring me, I think, from even getting started before, is I don't like being bad at things. So I typically pick up skills pretty quickly, and knowing that it's a process that I'll have to go through where there's a long period of not being good, it's not fun for me. It's difficult. But I know that's the process, and being able to write a good novel is something I want to be able to do in the future, just mostly as something I want to do, not necessarily to, make a career out of it or anything like that. But I love reading, and I love story and story structure, and so it's just something that's really been gnawing at me to do, is to tell stories. So that's where we're going to start this journey. Now, that being said, I have been interested in writing for a very long time, so I've done a ton of research and reading and listening and classes on how to write a novel. But there is really no replacement for experience. So at some point, you just got to put the words down, be horrible at it for a while, and work on it. But setting goals is not enough. If you have read Atomic Habits by James Clear, you'll know this, that he states that we do not rise to the level of our goals, but we fall to the level of our systems. So setting a good goal or a great goal, good, but that doesn't really help you any. So it all comes down to systems. So what kind of systems am I going to be using? The way I like to do it is to break it down. So the initial goal is 50,000 words in 5 months, which is 10,000 words a month, which is 2,500 words a week, which is 650 words a day if you're doing a 4-day writing week. And really, 650 words should take less than an hour max. So if we're doing that, it's 4 hours a week, which is 16 hours in a month, and 180 hours total, which realistically is not that bad to crank out an entire novel. So that's what I'm going to be aiming to do. An hour a day, at least 4 days a week, to hit a 650 a day writing goal. So breaking it down to a smaller daily goal. I know what I need to hit and how much time I'm going to be putting towards it. And I know if I hit that consistently week in and week out, at the end of it, there will be a very long, very bad manuscript that's about a novel size. Another one of my favorite books that I highly recommend is Steal Like an Artist. I'm not sure if it's in that book or if I got it somewhere else. But basically says that if you think something is original, you just don't know the source material. It's the old saying, nothing's new under the sun. So with this being the first full-length novel that I'm trying to write, and one that is admittedly going to be bad, as the end result, it's not going to be a great novel. It's not going to be something that will be on bookshelves ever. I'll be stealing a lot from other authors. A lot of the setting, a lot of the character types, a lot of storylines. I'll be taking a lot of inspiration from a lot of other writers, ideally putting my own spin on it, but I will be leaning a lot on my inspiration to come up with ideas and story and plot and all that fun stuff. With that being said, the story idea that has stuck with me for a while now has been based around a character. So if you've read Name of the Wind, which is it's one of my favorite books of all time. highly recommend it. But anyway, in The Name of the Wind, our main character is going to a university to study magic, and he is wandering around the library portion of the university looking for specific books on something, and he sees another character, and he just catches a glimpse of him. He's a very minor character in the book. He doesn't really do anything. He's just more or less mentioned. But anyway, this guy works for the university, and he is more akin to a soldier type than a librarian type. And basically the only thing we're given about him is that he is in acquisitions. And so he's the only one carrying a sword in the university and does not look the type to be working in a university. And that character just really stuck with me, and I wanted to know more about him, and I wanted to follow him as he went and acquired things. So with my story, that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to have a story around basically that character. Now, it won't be exactly that character, it won't be exactly that world, so it's not going to be like a fan fiction type novel or anything like that, but that general idea of a sword-carrying librarian that goes out and acquires books by whatever means necessary. Kind of a Indiana Jones type character, just set back in more of a Game of Thrones type setting. That would be a story I would want to read, and so that's the kind of story I'm going to try to write. Now, as far as educational content goes, a book that I have read and really liked is Save the Cat Writes a Novel. If you haven't read it, it's really good. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that go over it if you don't want to buy it, but it's really great. It breaks down almost, beat by beat, major, plot archetypes and things like that, and it's just very, very useful in setting up a story structure behind the novel. I'm also watching, I think for the second time now, maybe the third time, the Brandon Sanderson lectures on YouTube. So he teaches a creative writing class at BYU and films all the classes and posts them for free on YouTube. So you can pretty much take his course for free anytime you want to, as many times as you want to. So I'm doing that, and it's just full of good information. And basically I'll be using that book and his lectures to, it's kind of a education platform to help me get through, writing the story and actually getting pen to paper and figuring out what it's supposed to be. And like I said, I've said many times in this video, the novel is not going to be good. So it's not going to be really worth reading. But if you are interested, I will have everything that I write, first draft, rough draft, very rough draft, all posted on a separate website. I'll have it linked down below in the description, but you can go check that out there. I'll be posting weekly videos here with my word count. I'll let you know if I'm ahead of schedule or behind schedule. Hopefully it'll be ahead of schedule. And then you can go over to the website and actually see what's been written, so you can double check me, keep me honest. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we start to get some kind of rhythm and flow with the word count, and it doesn't get too overwhelming. So yeah, that's the system that we're hopefully putting in place to crank out a novel within a reasonable amount of time. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments if you're interested in writing and following along with this. If you've ever tried to write something yourself, any resources that you like, if you have done that, please let me know. I'm desperate for some good resources on this, because it is not going to be something that's easy. But yeah, just thanks for watching, and if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.